What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to May's channel map for the year 2021. A couple of days into the month, but this time I'm a bit earlier than the April one. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how April went and where we're going to be going a little bit in this month. So April was pretty productive in terms of Hydra work specifically. We got a lot of work done, and it does look very, very close to a patch. Even at the end of the month, we thought as much, and we've got a bit of a formula now. We've publicized the Trello page so that anybody can take a look at it, and obviously only the actual community or development team, so to speak, can bother changing things about it or filling some stuff in. But if you were going to report a bug and you didn't consult the bug fix list and then you report a bug that is already on that list, I will probably punch emoji react to you until you look at that page. So yeah, I guess I'll link it in the description just because I've spent so much time talking about it, but it's a pretty nice way to organize the more impending tasks that need to be taken care of, as well as documenting things that are a little bit more long-term, like bug fixes and whatnot. We also did a couple of LPs. We did a playthrough of Blackchain, which we only did a couple of missions, and then we did a playthrough of Doom 2016, which we really only got one successful stream of before things started becoming very unstable. So we will return to that at a later date, assuming we can get it working again. Aside from those things, the Street Dog podcast also returned in the month of April. We did 2 episodes, one on GTA 5 and one on remasters, specifically targeting the Diablo 2 remaster announcement. Dynamo and I have been planning on doing some more. We actually were going to have a third one of the month, but he ended up going on a bit of a vacation, so we obviously delayed that a little bit, and I expect that will pick back up in the month of May. And then on the other channel, we did interviews, we did an Elo Heaven episode once a week, generally speaking. So content has continued in the esports side of things, and it's pretty exciting stuff. In the RTS section of the plans for May, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, patching Hydra is the first order of business, along with resuming map craps. Yes, map craps will be coming back, because Hydra is finally stable in a position where you are unlikely to get consistent crashes, and if you do, we are likely capable of fixing them. We will also be finishing the 2 scenarios that I started in the month of April and in the month of March. That's Heat Death is the older one that I put on the back burner for now, and Golden Souls is the one that I've been working on a little bit more recently. It's the Ashworld map. You may remember Heat Death being the desert map. So I will be attempting to finish those as one-off scenarios, maybe making another one, we'll see. I also want to finally finish my mapping tutorial series. With Hydra's work nearly complete, I can finally focus on that a little bit more aggressively, because when I test the map, there's unlikely to be ridiculous stability issues once everything is taken care of. And I've also been updating the AI and a bunch of other things, so it only makes sense to wait for some of that stuff to be done and set in place before I finish that mapping tutorial series. But in the meantime, I will at least finish the map and record some more content for me to edit down to that tutorial video. So stay tuned for that. I expect it'll probably be about an hour or so. Campaign planning and mapping will also continue. I haven't actually done any campaign mapping yet, but the planning did continue to develop and be fleshed out in the month of April, and I expect I will have a couple of additional sessions for that express purpose as well pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll even do some of that on stream so you guys can take a look at what my process for planning out a story actually is. But if you're still interested in that anyway, you can of course check out the campaign planning section, which I will also link in the description. That's pretty much it. I mean, obviously RTS engine development is continuing. We've all but finished the C++ transition, so to speak. We have a plan going forward for finalizing additional features. So once we start cracking down on the entity component system, and I say we, I of course mean Veek mostly, and while I talk at him while he does the coding, that's my job, is just keeping him company, I guess. But yeah, I'm also familiarizing myself with the code base and all that. So as we continue to update Hydra and get to the point where Hydra needs less maintenance, we can obviously spend a bit more time working on that engine development, probably a couple of them on stream. I think the next time we go ahead and do the streamed stuff, we will also update the Antikythera page for the purpose of documenting the switch in tool bases and stuff. So we'll see how that goes as time goes on, but stay tuned because there's more to come there. Now, on the first channel, we have obviously had less uploads and more live streams recently. I will say that the Let's Plays will likely be placed on hold unless it's going to be one of those one and done situations, kind of like Blackchain, where somebody just wants me to check out a game and give my thoughts on it and maybe play it for a couple hours and then ditch it. But beyond that, because of the fact that a lot of the more high profile games that I've tried to play, like Doom 2016 or Deus Ex Human Revolution, have had ridiculous performance issues, I actually think this might be due to a recent Windows update. So rather than bother trying to roll back it or whatever, I'm just going to say, well, LPs aren't my focus right now anyway. I want to focus on working on Hydra and the engine and so on and so forth. So I will focus my effort on content that isn't related to playing a game. And maybe I'll finally finish my review for BioShock Infinite, for example. Things like that, prioritizing those over working on something like Let's Play, which is admittedly a little bit more out there content in terms of how it's consumed, right? It's a bit more forgetful, throwaway, that sort of thing. So those are stuff definitely going to return eventually, but for now, I think I'll just focus on what I already have outlined. Aside from that, on this channel, you will see castovers of Hydra AI return now that we have stability. I just need to finish the actual patch stuff, and then I can start to produce those videos, I would say pretty regularly. You'll probably see a couple of them every week, believe it or not. And beyond that, of course, there's the mapping tutorial series I already touched on. I would like to go past the intro and the 1v1 situation to get straight into like 2v2, 3v3, that sort of stuff. I might even skip 2v2 entirely and go straight to 3v3 for the second video. We'll see. And then obviously there's the original scenario things. And I did mention earlier, the Street Dog podcast, definitely something that will continue to see some airtime. So if you have some topic suggestions or whatever, you can talk about them in the Discord server. Sometimes those are even what starts our topics in the Street Dog podcast is I see somebody talking about some shit and I say, hey, I could talk about that. And maybe Dynamo knows something about that. And we talk about it beforehand. Then we get the plan together. We actually sit down and record it. And that's just how the bread is baked, so to speak. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the first channel plans. Let's talk about the second channel plans very briefly. It's just the same old, really. It's Elo Heaven episodes, map analyses for CSGO maps, interviews whenever the opportunities present themselves. And I still haven't actually got around to making the solo video content, the pros and cons, which is similar to kind of Thorin's Thoughts style content. At some point, I will get around to doing that. Probably this month. It seems like a good time, considering all of the contrarian opinions I hold, that probably should be immortalized in video format. And beyond that, I've got some plans for the future as well. I have the additional mapping tutorial series stuff that needs to be taken care of, which would be probably documenting the creation of either a small campaign or just a straight up map set where the maps are disconnected. But I think that would be mostly useful once I've actually got the first series done. I think I've probably already talked about that in other videos anyway, so I'll just leave it at that. That's the plan for the month of May. Thanks for sticking with us. And as always, if you have suggestions, you can put them in the comments, or you can join the Discord server where we talk about memes. I don't know. We don't actually really talk about memes. I must say we're mostly meme free here. But if you wanted to put some memes there, you could also join the Discord server. Just let me know that that's why you're there. And we'll see if you pass the test. The literacy checking bouncer boy is always watching. So yeah, good luck in the locker room. We'll see you later.